Gaza Media is back with the second part of the activity of the 2023 convention of the Diaspora 9 Bash of GBHS Fontem, also known as Gaza 8990. Recall, the key question circulating in the air is, can the 9 Bash of GBHS Fontem be a catalyst to education in Libya? Let's find out if their deliberation were geared towards or provide answer to this fundamental question. Throughout our documentary and interview concerning the opening of school and education in Libya, no single person has been against education or school resumption in Libya. And the ex-students of GBHS Fontem have taken the same position, that education is the backbone of every society and they are not different from others. On Saturday morning, July 15, 2023 in Tucson, Arizona, the Diaspora 9 Bash of GBHS Fontem had a plenary session under the theme Revamping GBHS Fontem and Fostering Education in Libya.
So, I think this is one of its kind from all the conventions that we are having, because we are humans who are constantly evolving and we're coming up with innovations and new ideas on how to make our organization stronger and grow to lead. So we thought that having this moment where we actually sit down and recollect as a group, instead of just coming and doing drinking and dancing and eating and then separating, that we have this moment where we sit down and bring our heads together and share ideas on how to make our organization better. We are keeping in mind that the theme of this convention is revamping GBHS Fontem one step at a time. So these discussions in this sit-down session are going to go a long way to contribute to making that happen. So in this session, we're going to inviting everybody to have a voice. If that part is going to come where if you have anything to share that will help improve. And let me just back up a little bit. Anybody sitting in this room has the right to talk, respectfully, of course. It's not just us who sat in that bench. Our spouses here very well through in their contributions. And so I just want to thank you all again for giving us your attention and for being here.
One of the most heated discussions was how to assist in education across Libya. The issue of the citizen resumption came up. Suggestion versus counter-suggestion were made.
But if we don't help to support other institutions that are about to start, in that grammar school may never start. So I will think that if we are thinking of supporting or doing something practically to support either other institution or students from the BLM, that is a good thing that we can do. So the case in point now is about Seed of Wisdom college that we know that it's about that. Because I think that if Seed of Wisdom start and function where maybe the next year or so grammar school may start. But if Seed of Wisdom does not start, we should not even think, to me, it may not start. So if Seed of Wisdom is starting and we want to do something, I think it's a good thing that we can do to support it.
You can't just sit and say, okay, because we didn't go to Seed of Wisdom, we don't care about that. I don't think that's right. It's our community. It doesn't matter who is in Seed of Wisdom, but our kids can go to Seed of Wisdom.
I think there's more that we can do, also do practically, compared to what the 10 Bash did, I think with the box school bags in Channel and gave to some young ones who were in primary school. They distributed over, I think there were over 250 school bags and pencils and rulers that were distributed. So Gaza Media covered that event in Cham. I think the deal of that municipality was invited with them. These are some of the things that we can stand firmly and say will support education regardless.
What can we do to the nearing schools in the environment so that our children can continue to go to school? We know that most of us went to GBHS Belenge Fontem, Lego, this. Let's look at those environments. We don't pick one school. There's this operating in Bela. There is another one in Isorata. There are others, all those small schools that we can do. Let's say if, because when we are building our funds, and to see that in the future, they give us a green light that, hey, this school, we cannot individually start GBHS Fontem. Something will be coming like, okay, this has died down. But what can we do to our own children in other areas, like they are coming from Bank, from Lego, any area that we know that schools are operating that we're supposed to go to GBHS Fontem, but because that area is closed down and decided to form small community schools, we should go in there and see what we can do. Because those are the people that need this.
Our points are very valid. One thing that I want to, a perspective that I want to give to double down on what Nkambela said about supporting like Seat of Wisdom, and not like we sit here, we're talking about Seat of Wisdom. We all know that those are the people that are on the picture now. Yeah. And one thing that we have to do, even before we even take any action, is to have a public image of GBH for them, that that place too is not dead. And so, when you come out at a particular time to support people, you are really not supporting them, but you are creating awareness.
To the time where we, especially us here at Diaspora, we have to stand up and say, hey, we want this to be done. Everything, in Cameroon, everything in money, everything is possible. We can still operate in GBHS Fontem. It just determine our collaborative determination. If we can, not only us this class, but we can start to communicate with other GBHS Fontem as student association and everything, and say, hey, this is not fair for our community, but we have to stand up. What does the people really need for us to do before we can start? We cannot start now, yeah? But we have to start planning now to start in future.
It's not really easy in Cameroon, especially our children. When you go to the city, you see the way they are suffering there. At times when I see them, I cry. Houses are so expensive. Children, like Douala, Chang, all those places, the way the children are suffering there, we really need to do something. Like Aunt Peter Ryan said something, that we have to start somewhere to see how we can bring life to these children. The village is not the way we are thinking here. There's life going on in the village. I can't believe that they're celebrating my mother's celebration in our compound. They did
On a
it.
very serious note, when I happened to cut across two batches, I'm part of the 88 and 89. And when I joined this organization, even when Arizona was about to post, I asked a very, very pertinent question. The appreciation I am sending here is because of this exercise. Trust me, people like Fontem, from the diaspora, when you spend your hard-earned money, become an in addition to the fund that dies the few days after. We actually sit to discuss like we have discussed today. It gives our organization a bigger sense of purpose. And when we talk, we disagree to agree, and it is good that before we round up, we really recollect ourselves and end on a positive note, appreciating creating that opportunity, because what we have discussed here, if the executive they narrow down on, it is really going to help, especially the tax ID.
In a resolution, a bill was voted that will go into supporting students who will be going to Sudan as the institution opened its door for students to start studying again after 6 years of no schooling. And a second bill was passed to support other identified village and private schools in the BLM with school didactic material.
So, I thank everybody again. I thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. I apologize that time was so short and we really are not able to exhaust what we all wanted to say. It's just time. We cannot control that. It's nothing personal. It's time. So, moving forward, I guess we all agree that the education is what we are all for. And when we step out of this room, that's what we're carrying with us, that we're going to support any educational initiative in Fontem We give Gaza Media applause for the work that they've been doing to project the image of GBHS Fontem. That is a big job they're doing for all of us. We are already behind time, so the rest of the things that we're going to talk about should happen in the hall.
Other resolutions were taken to strengthen the organization, like membership participation and self-empowerment activities. Immediately after the meeting, our camera caught Mr. Etienne Pascal, who is one of the hosts from Arizona.
What are some of the takeaway resolutions that were adopted in there?
Yeah, so thank you so much. Like I said in the meeting, the best part of this convention has been the resolution, because it doesn't hurt when they meet and socialize and go back without any take-home message. But I think without talking so much about so much into the resolution, the take-home resolution that we've had here is the general commitment to support education in the BLM. I mean, we have spoken beyond GBHS Fontem, and we're talking about supporting community schools and even throwing our support behind the Seat of Wisdom, which is like the foundation of education in the BLM. I know the executive is going to work out the details, but this bash, I am so proud of my classmates because their commitment goes beyond boundaries.
Thank you so much.
Remember, the temperature in Arizona was around 105 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius, and there was no other way to cool down than to go to the beach for swimming. An hour drive to Patagonia Lake and camping and swimming was order of that afternoon. Before I end here, I will ask you to share this content. Click the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so, and leave your comment. Remember, this organization voted the bill to facilitate education in the BLM. But where is the fund going to come from? Stay connected to Gaza Media, as we will be back with part 3 to show you how people can donate voluntarily when it comes to education. And thank you for watching, and for this presentation, I'm Ernest Kumba.